Hello and welcome to today's live episode of the Daily Edit. I'm your host, Todd Middlebrooks, and today we're going to talk about recovering a seemingly bad photo that was shot in RAW from a drone using Lightroom Mobile for the iPad. Alright, over the holiday weekend, we were over at a nearby lake, and I was flying a drone and captured a shot that looked pretty good. The sun was kind of low in the sky, but because the lake area was kind of dark in the shade and the sky was bright, the image seemingly was bad because I exposed for the sky, so I didn't blow out the sky, and it made for kind of a dark image. However, because I have my drone set to shoot in RAW, I have a lot more latitude and a lot more flexibility when editing those images, and am able to recover them and create a pretty good looking image as a final result. And that's what we're going to take a look at today, so let's get into it. Like I said, here is the final image. This is what I wound up with after the edit using Lightroom Mobile. And as I just hold down here, I'll show you the before. Again, the sky is fairly well exposed. The lake, the trees, and the dock that's in the foreground there look pretty dark. So if you were to view this on the back of your phone, or initially when you download it, you might think, that's a throwaway, and you might be tempted to delete it. However, because it is a raw image, we're able to turn it into that, which is a much more pleasing image with saturation and balanced exposure. So let's get into it. I'm going to revert all of these adjustments back to the import, and we'll start our edit. So I'm going to start with auto, as we have done before. And that gives us a pretty good start. Again, there's before and after. Brightens up a lot of the foreground and helps create a lot of balance right away. The next thing I know I'm going to want to do is bring down the luminance, or the brightness of the sky just a little bit. And I'll do that, actually do that with the gradient mask here, so I can preserve the foreground that we've restored with the auto feature. And I'll go in here and I'll bring that exposure down just a little. Highlights, that gives us a little more saturation. Speaking of, we can go down here to the saturation and boost that just a little bit and bring some pretty color into those clouds there. I'm seeing that it may be a little dark, so I'll bring this exposure back up just a little bit there. Now, editing on the iPad affords some flexibility when using the Apple Pencil. I can add, so if I want to, you'll notice the trees on the left, the sun is hitting them. The sun's low in the sky, it's creating that nice golden glow on the trees there. However, the trees on the right of this creek are falling into the shade, and so they look just a little dark. And so what we'll do is we'll take the pencil and we'll just paint and run in here these areas that we're going to brighten, trying to steer just a little clear of the edges there so we don't introduce brightness back into the sky, which kind of gives away the edit. You can come down in here some as well, and the exposure. Let's get a little contrast here as well. Not the shadows, but we got to be careful not to give away the edit. And then we can also see if we adjust it kind of matches the tone of the trees on the left there. And save that. And again, that's looking pretty good. Some other things we can do. Because this is a raw image, we probably should have started with this. I typically do is introduce sharpening. Because raw images have no processing applied at all, they typically do need to be sharpened. There's our edits thus far. Now, I noticed in this area right here, above the water, where the leading lines are, leading into the distance of the creek there, there is some more probably saturation that can be recovered there, and especially I see some pink in that cloud there. So I'm going to go in there and try to add additional brush adjustment here, and I'll just paint in using that brush just this area here, and try to boost the saturation there. Not too much. We don't want to introduce too many artifacts there. Can't play with the exposure very much there. Slightly adjust the highlights, and that just gives a little color back into that area of the sky that kind of ties into the clouds at the top there. And then, as usual, especially like for my landscape photos, we're going to introduce a little bit of vignette. Boost the feather back up. Another thing that I did in the original edit, and I think I want to do here as well, is to add another, we'll add another gradient adjustment here, just for this corner. And the reason is, it's a little, again, because it's in the shade there, it's got a little bit of blue contrast, blue cast rather, to the water there, which is a reflection of the sky. However, there's some pink in that cloud there, and I wanted to kind of just give some of that color, warmth and tint back to the water there. So I'll introduce a little bit of warmth and just a little bit of tint to kind of tie in the reflection of that area of the image of the sky. And that's looking pretty good. So once again, that's using Lightroom Mobile, in this case for the iPad in conjunction with the Apple Pencil for very fine-tuned, localized adjustments. We're able to recover, again, a seemingly bad, quote, bad photo at first glance because it was shot in RAW, and wind up with a pretty nice image here. This image will be posted to the Daily Edit Live Instagram account, so be sure to check in there and give it a like. And if you received any value out of this video, I'd appreciate subscribe and ring that bell for notifications so you know when we post videos in the future. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Daily Edit, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks.